Hi guys, and welcome to today's video. In today's tutorial, I'm going to be making use of this Ankara and the mesh for the ruffles on the pockets. My Ankara is 4 yards, and it's 4 yards because I'm making mine a long dress and not a short one. But if you're making a short one, you can be needing around, I think, 2 yards or 2.5, depending on your body size. I've gone ahead to fold my fabric into 4, and so the next thing I'm going to be doing is to mark out the shoulder measurements. My shoulder measurement for this dress is, the shoulder and sleeve together is 20 inches. You can also decide to first of all mark your normal shoulder measurement, then from there you now mark out the desired sleeve length, and then add the hemming allowance for the sleeve. So whichever way you decide to mark it, it's fine. It's going to give you the same result. So I'm going to be trimming off this the border line there because I don't want it to show. The next thing I'm going to do is to measure my round sleeve. I'm making use of 9 inches for my round sleeve. After that, you're going to add 1 inch for ease, 1 inch for the allowance. Then altogether what we have is 10 inches, and that 10 inches is going to serve as my chest line or my bust line. There's no need for you to start measuring another chest or bust line again. So the next thing we are going to mark out is from your shoulder to your half length. For this dress, I'm making use of 17, and then still placing your tape like so. You mark out your hip line. My hip line for this dress is 26. Then after doing that, I'm now going to mark out the measurements. The measurement for the bust is 39 inches, and I'm adding 4 inches to it. Then you divide it into 4. After dividing it into 4, you mark out the measurement that you have, and then you also go ahead to add 1 inch for sewing allowance. Adding 4 inches to your actual measurement is actually not a standard, but I just wanted to make use of 4 inch allowance. You can decide to make yours 5, you can decide to make yours 6. It depends on how big you want it, but I just want mine to be moderate, and that's why I'm making use of 4 inches. So that's the same thing I'm going to be doing on the waist. The waist is 33. I added 4 inches to it, divided it into 4. I marked it out also, and also added 1 inch for sewing allowance. I'm also going to be dividing my hip into 4. My hip is 41 inches, and I'm adding 4 inches first, and then I'm also going to go ahead to first of all divide it into 2. That's 22.5, and then divide it again. It gives you 11.25. You can decide to make use of a calculator, but I am just making use of a tape so that you actually see how the divisions are done on the tape. So I'm also adding 1 inch for ease. After doing that, I'm going to connect the measurement from the hip line to the waistline and then to the chest line. On the chest line, which is 10, I'm coming down by 1.5 to be able to give out to be able to mark out the measurement like this. You are going to create a curve around that 1.5 inch. If you can do it freehand, it's fine, because you cannot just mark it straight like that. It's not going to give you a good look by the time you're done sewing. So you need to give a curve around that chest line area. So the same measurement I have on my hip line is the same thing I'm going to mark all the way down to the hem of the dress. Now at this point, if yours is a short dress, you can just place your tape at the beginning of the fabric to the length, to your desired length. If you want the length, or if your length of your dress is 40 or it is 39, you mark 39, and then you go ahead to add 2 inches or 1.5 inch for the hem of the dress. That's for the allowance or at the hem of the dress. But again, like I said from the beginning, mine is a long dress. So after marking out the measurements which I have on my hip down to the hem of the dress, I'm going to connect the lines like so. The next thing I'm going to do is to go ahead to cut out our marked out measurements. If you're making yours short, you can just stop at the length of the dress you have marked out plus the hem of the dress. But for mine, which is a long dress, I'm going to stop at around 40-41, and then I wouldn't cut it all through straight down because I want to be able to walk, and I'm going to be giving and creating an opening by the sides. So from the initial measurement I've marked out, I'm extending it again by 1 inch so that I'll be able to fold in the allowance for the opening. And so I'm just going ahead to connect it like this, and then I'm also going to be cutting it out. The next thing we'll be doing is to mark out the neck line. So the neck width is 3 inches, and for the back I'm coming down by 1 inch, and for the front we are going to be marking 2.5. And then for the opening altogether, I want mine to stop at 6.5. So we are going to go ahead to cut out the back neckline first. That's the only thing we are going to be cutting together, because both the front and the back is together. And if you were to go to cut the front neckline, you would have both the front and the back neck the same way. But we are going to first of all just cut the back neckline like so. After cutting it out, then you're going to open it up like so, and then go ahead to cut out the front neckline. The front neckline ends on the line on the shoulder, just like you see me doing. I hope this is clear, guys. Then after doing this, you're going to then also create a straight opening to the point where you have marked for the depth of the opening. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is to cut out the facing for the neckline. And if you do not have enough fabric, you may just decide to cut for the front neck piece alone. But for me, I want to cut both for the front and the back, and you have to place the material, you have to place your fabric like this on it, and then cut out your facing. Before you go ahead to cut it out, you also want to pin it down so that it will be easy for you to cut and it doesn't move around. So this is the pocket, and the measurements I have made use of. For the length of the pocket, I have cut out 12 inches, and for the wideness, I cut out 10 inches. For the folding of the pocket on the length, I am going to be notching it at 1.5 inches. That will be for the folding of the pocket. Then for the sides, I'm going to be ending up with the use of 8 inches. For the ruffles, I've gone ahead to iron out the net, and it's going to be on fold. You're not just going to make use of it flat like so, you're going to put it on fold so that it's going to have some volume. So the measurement I'm going to be making use of on the width is 2 1/4, and that's 4.5 inches, but it's 2 1/4 on fold, and that is the measurement I'm going to be working with for the ruffles of the pocket. If you have watched to this point, I want to say a very big thank you for watching up till now. Please don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to also comment and also share these videos. Thank you very much. And the next video you're going to be seeing is a video on how to make this beautiful dress. Bye. See you in the next one.